Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of Content and Creation. Today, episode 22, we are looking at the Qeynos origins. And what I mean by that is we finally got the next workshop project from the devs. It isn't dwarves. It isn't not dwarves. I would say it's actually more not dwarves than dwarves, but it's Qeynos. We're actually going to be building some concepts and styles and things that are meant to represent what we're going to be seeing in Qeynos. So one of the shapes that I really want to highlight that I'm sure is going to be a big technical detail for a while is these roofs, and we're going to have to kind of take a look at all of them as we go around. The octagon, the 8-way paneling, that's definitely something that was highlighted in the style guide and the art when they were showing it off. But then on top of that, it's the 2/3, that you got 2/3 up here and then 1/3 down here, and that's where the crease is at in the middle. That's another major factor of it. Other than that, how tall it is, how wide it is, I think those can kind of be played with a little bit and experimented, but it's definitely meant to be a covering to the tops of these buildings. I'm not really sure about the use of what's it called? Wood for the roofs of these. If we're expecting dragons to attack, I would imagine everything should be made out of stone as much as possible. But we'll see how it turns out. I imagine they would get some sort of roof tilings. So I kind of wonder what's going on here. Oh, all the emitters they've got just kind of turn on. Well, that's lovely. You got some of the fog, some of the mist. That's lovely. That's a really nice demonstration. Just to get a little bit of everything, or at least what they've got handy. And the trails it leaves behind for a little bit. So, kind of looking at the actual style of it, it's the octagon going around mimicking the or what the roof pattern rather mimics. And that same pattern I see they've extended the entire way down. So, it looks like a kind of sturdy tower. Yeah, dragon's breath plus stone equals liquid stone. Well, it depends on the dragon. I mean, like an acid dragon would melt calcium-based stone like immediately, but other things maybe would be a little bit more immune to it. I don't know. It depends on how they work the magic of everything. So, Ziller Splat, Dorkish, Lord Underneath, hello and welcome. How you guys doing? Guys and... I don't know, guys and or gals. So here's a little bit more, kind of a detailed, or I guess not detailed, but a texture attempt rather, to kind of see how this looks. And it looks odd on some of the angles. Like this one is going to look weird because it's the basically when you have all the different angles kind of engaged like that, the trilinear filtering is doing its best to put all the textures in the right place. So it is kind of like two patterns overlapping in one spot at about 50% opacity each. It's a little bit interesting, but I like where they're going with this. That this is actually a stone tiled roof rather than a wood tiled roof. Down here we see some of the experiments at some of the different shapes. So this is the some of the octagon stuff that they're working on. Yeah. So, it's definitely a nice little bit of experimentation we're seeing here. Not as much with the interior design yet, but I don't think that's really as much in the focus quite as much for this build here. It's a nice tower, though. I like the windows. Pretty big scale on it. What the heck are those? Those look like space urinals. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm not going to screenshot this one because it's, you know, fairly rough and untextured. Except that it does actually show some of the design, some of the merit and stuff. I think I will actually screenshot it. It's probably worthwhile. So how are you folks doing today? Is anybody working on some Qeynos stuff? I'll just go to the other side. Alright. Zoom out enough to get a good look at it. When they have gnomes. What if they never have gnomes? What if they're like, you know, gnomes are done. Not dumb, but done, that they're finished. They've been destroyed. They've been eaten. Qeynos house yesterday. Nice, Anzul. I think I saw it on the list. I think all the gnomes were eaten though. Just thinking out loud here. So, there's your text focus. Look down for a second to type one thing and all goes to shit. Oh well. Let's see, where's the sun at? Can I get the sun involved? I'll get the sun involved. Dorkish. I guess not. I guess if that's the only thing that's gonna make him play the game, then Gnome Simulator 2015 is gonna be the game for him instead. On Satisfaction Delta. Alright. Send it. Yeah, no, I'm sure gnomes will be a part of things. I don't know if they're going to be one of the starting races or if they're going to be one that joins up later on. They could go either way with that one. Pretty sure people would be a little upset, at least a decent amount of people, if they don't end up being one of the starting races. Though, for logistic reasons, I could see why people wouldn't want to do that. How am I in a party? That's hilarious. All right. Moving on. Let's see what Qeynos has going on. Dwarves and gnomes together. Yeah, actually, I did talk about that favorably in the past. It would kind of make sense if dwarves are more the, say, larger steampunk and, like, you know, heavier metalcraft and blacksmithing versus the gnomes are more like magic tinkerers. You know, that would make sense to me if they were put together that way. But it would make more sense to me if they didn't come together at the same time, that, you know, they're still learning and trying to understand each other. And maybe don't even trust each other 100% because they maybe disagree on some methods of smelting and some other things that they do in common. Who knows? So, we got ourselves tower segments. Definitely using the A-frame that was requested. I guess, I don't, you know, with the 1/3, 2/3 thing, I don't know if she's talking like, you know, from point XY to point XY, or if it's literally 1/3 the height, you know, simply altitude-wise. Because I think this one is twice as long as this piece, but it doesn't necessarily appear twice as tall. So either it's just the texture and the proportions kind of throwing me off with the look of it, or maybe it's the way it was done. But either way, an A-frame using that style is most definitely the correct style for things here. I like these columns. They're nice. They're very sturdy. It is wood though, so keep in mind, you know, when a dragon does come by, these walls are going to have to be abandoned because they're just going to get cooked. We've got these stone supports underneath, which I'm wondering if those are actually going to have some wood pieces connected, kind of supporting from it below there. Let's look at the segment here. I don't know if it would actually be completely open looking in this area. Yeah, Drainian, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Onzul. Yeah, I already said hello, Onzul. It's good to see you anyway. Gnomes will have a lightning focus. Possibly. Have a fear of soccer. Oh yeah, I can clear this off the UI. Sorry about that, folks. So let's kind of look at this a little bit. I like the use of the stone, just, you know, stone on top of stone. It just looks like it's all one solid piece, though realistically I would imagine there would need to be a little bit of breakup here. I mean, I don't know that they're necessarily pouring cement. That's kind of what it looks like a little bit with how everything is all seamless like this. So I'm wondering if the way to communicate that is using a different material of stone, or using like making like a microvoxel break of some sort, or even using offsets in some areas to actually create a gap. But whatever it is, I really like it. I like the shape of it. I like the look of it. Just needs a little bit of something to break it up, and I'm sure this isn't final texturing. Oh, hey, Cranswee. I thought you were already following the channel. Well, welcome anyway. Anyway. Gnome punting. Actually, what I'd rather see is large races being able to grab and throw small races, not, you know, in a malicious sort of way, at least towards them, but instead to be able to use them as a living projectile. So I mean, what's worse than, a gnome coming at you at 100 miles per hour. It's the ogre fastball. Whatever crazy gadget it's got is gonna hit you at full force. Might be enough to make you just explode into gibs. I like this. Where's the sun? Where's the sun? Oh. Let's see what I can do to make this look pretty. There we go. One. Where are we? Rebellion, spine. All right. There we go. Which that movie? I was thinking more of the character from Final Fantasy VI who is always in berserk mode but grabs and throws people to use it like a human projectile. It's pretty funny if I remember correctly. It's like a 1 in 20 chance that they would do that. What if players could recruit other players to take screenshots of their claim? That'd be pretty awesome. Yeah, Dorkish. I mean, I would love to just do a screenshot show. Just give me some nice builds to check out. Yeah, that would be a really nice feature. Did this send yet? Totally succeeded? I believe so. Things have been sending pretty quick today, actually. So, I need to stay on the ball about continuing to get through these because we have a lot of awesome stuff to check out. Let's see what Nibirande's got going on here. These are a lot of people, by the way. I know a lot of them, and there's a lot of them I've never even seen before. So I'm really happy to be checking this out and seeing everybody. The phrase coming out of the woodwork is totally not appropriate because I'm sure these are folks who have been building this entire time, just not in areas where I had come across their stuff or in the focus of things that I had been able to see them. But I'm really happy to be checking out some stuff from a whole variety of people. Dorkish. Yeah, no, not that kind of hired photographer. Like somebody who's paid to make the place look nice, not take scandalous things to send to Frigo Porco. Or take scandalous pictures of Frigo Porco to send to other places. Well, anyway, so I'm liking what they've done here. They've actually done kind of a roofing test, doing some of the different materials, and to be perfectly honest, it's really neat. It's a really good idea. That one actually looks pretty solid right there. Which one is that? Let me switch to my toolbar. We are looking at granite roof tile. Granite roof tile looks pretty solid. It maybe isn't the color that we need it to be, so if they could give us that same pattern but in the more Qeynos themed colors, I think that would probably work pretty damn well for us. What do you say, folks? Dorkish. No, it's all in good fun. If anybody's been catching, I'm having a little discussion with Oil in the lower left corner there. We're talking about cyberpunk stuff a little bit. He was saying that's kind of ultimately what he was thinking about for the style of how he likes to build. It's more of a, you know, a dirty sci-fi versus Cold Knight and Shatari is more of like a clean sci-fi. How are you doing, Phasicus? Welcome, welcome. So that's just a little materials test. It's not really specifically relevant to the subject here. So I wonder if there's anything else we've got here. I don't think this is Qeynos style at all. That's just their little home, which is nice. I really like that, actually. I like the use of the rope to kind of hide some of the nasty voxels. That's actually really, really smart. That's really cool. And this just, yeah. All right, everybody. Nice. You know, just to get the names and the exposure out there, I'm going to take screenshots everywhere. Understanding Hilltop. You know what? My computer's really revving for no good reason right now. I'm gonna Alt-Tab for a sec here and close some things that might be trying to download some things. And you, and you. Okay, we're good. Alright. Did it send yet? A week or so, making a pirate base into a cyberpunk base, thinking of calling it District X7. A little stuff like District 13, taken. What? What do you mean too much information? It was, I think it was Steam and Desura. One of the two was, trying to vie for power. And it's like, no, I am playing Landmark. I'm doing a stream right now. You not interrupt me. Meh. Only I did that all internally and didn't actually have to express it until trying to explain what was going on there. But anyway, all in good fun. See what Cools has got going. adjusting my armrest. I didn't realize it was going to be that loud. So far we've seen a lot of roof tests because there really was a lot of focus on the discussion with the roofs. That was something they really wanted to highlight. And that was one of the things that, unfortunately, when I was looking at the concept art and some of the designs, there were a lot of walls that looked really flat and looked really undecorated. So I'm wondering if there's going to be another release of art that's going to try to address that. Looking at the origins chart and thinking about gnomes again. What do the races have to do with the origins, though? Seriously, that I don't see that there's any correlation. Hey! Hey, that's not nice! What you doing here? At least it's right by the gate. Yeah, draining the arcane, the scholarly knowledge versus shamanistic would be kind of the inverse to that, and spiritual faith-based would be yet another sector, I would think. They're kind of different ways to approach magic. So yeah, in terms of gnomes, they would see it definitely as, you know, formulas and, you know, cold hard math, which I'm all about, honestly. PC Zelda, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. So, I wish I turned on I forced the anti-aliasing before the show. Maybe I'll do that between the break or something. Because I'm seeing like all the little jaggies in between these very beautiful bricks. This is lovely. Nice and tight, orderly, well-formed, well-placed. But I think the anti-aliasing is coming from how deep they are. If you actually take a look, these are actually like full-sized bricks with nothing in between. And a little artifacting here that can definitely be cleaned up. It's really nice. I like the banners. I like these here. Very nice detail. Looks like it's, you know, kind of helping support. Nice solid piece of stone versus this is all kind of bricked up. I like it. So let's look a little bit. You know what? Let's keep on looking around. Maybe there's some other details around the sides that we didn't notice. See a little bit of little details in the column there. They look nice. I don't know if the kind of grooves inward make sense or if that actually makes it look a little bit less reinforced. I personally would like to see this be pushed out rather than jutting in a little bit. That's awesome. Hydranian, that's really cool. Hey, you remind me about that after the show. Send me like a Twitch message or something. There's totally something I want to follow up on you about. Yeah, so the banners, of course there's no doorway, which was the peril of when I teleported in because I was just inside and there's no detail or anything. There's no way up and out. So let's kind of look at some of the, well, there's not really much going on in there yet. We'll look at the formation of the frames and stuff, but that'll be after we kind of look at the transition here. So we've got these nice broad arches in the wood here. That's a really nice detail. It definitely doesn't look specifically Karen. Karen buildings could have that, but it maybe it is more of what I guess human style would look like. And honestly, it looks pretty cool. I definitely feel like somewhere between here and here there needs to be something to break up the wood, and I'm sure this stuff up here is going to be completely detailed and done differently. Feels Karen? Maybe a little. I mean, the part The part that doesn't feel as Karen to me is right here would be plaster in the back. They didn't have wood butting up on the stone quite like this with this level of detail. If this was plaster here, I would totally say, yeah, Karen in a heartbeat. But then it would also need probably some more latticing. Now let's actually look up here. This also kind of gives the look and feel, the less Karen, more human coming from it, because I don't really remember. I guess Karen kind of used a little bit. It's usually wood roof shingles and stuff that I saw, not actually it was like red bricks sort of tiles. Or is this wood? I guess maybe this is wood. Hey. What is this? No, I guess it is wood. It kind of looks like brick because it's so red. What is this, architect classes? Hell yeah, it is, PC Zelda. This is a review show. This is a review and feedback show as much as it is a tour show. I'm sure this is just the outside of it. I'm sure the the builder probably hasn't. This is Cools, right? Yeah, hasn't finished backing up the bottom side of this quite yet. But I'm sure once it's all finished, this will be all nice and reinforced, and maybe this will be a hollow space underneath. Maybe it won't. I would imagine he would probably reinforce the inside of here with wood, but board it up at least so you don't see the roof tiles from the bottom. Well, Qeynos isn't necessarily a new town. There were stone structures that already existed, and they were kind of repurposed and taken over by the Combine. So, it isn't that they're necessarily new buildings, but they are definitely being retrofitted and refurbished for this usage. The one thing that I'm wondering would help out here is switching it up, using some of the different materials. Right now I can very clearly see that most of it is using the same texture, and the only thing that's breaking it up is the bricks being cut. It would definitely make a lot more sense to me if the different cuts, different types of the granite were being used, or maybe alternate some different materials. And the stone, enough of the stone will help communicate that it is stone. So even if you use like one of the stuccos or plasters or something, you might be able to get away with that, and it'll still look like a brick that belongs there. PC Zelda, no, EverQuest Next is not going to be anything but free to play. The subscription for the gold, the all access will probably be worthwhile, but no, they're a free to play 64-bit only company pretty much going forward. I think Dragon's Prophet and DCUO might be the only exceptions, but everything on the Forge Light engine they want to be getting 64-bit only, and they plan for it all to be free to play with station cash transactions, player studio interaction, etc. This here just looks like one of the walls of it, just on its own. You can really see it's nice and modular. It's easy to work with. They're all different, PC Zelda. Every game in the EverQuest series is actually its own story, its own iteration of the lore, of the events. There's a lot of commonality between them. There's also a lot of things that are different. The only one of them has the meat beast, for example. I think that's EverQuest 2, right? Oh, there's EverQuest 2, and then there's a lot of different spin-off games from the world of Norath. Everything from Diablo-style action RPGs to TCG, if I'm not mistaken, and some various other things. So spring. Yeah, that's all it needs to say. Yeah, EQ Online Adventure. That's another one. It's like Champions of Norath or whatever was the action RPG, if I'm not mistaken. It was on like PlayStation 2. It was fun if I remember. See you later, Lord Underneath. Thank you very much for coming through. And hello, Nakupenda91. Welcome, welcome. Succeeded. All right. Well, Nakupenda, you can always look at the content creations hashtag with the episodes EP22 hashtag with it, and you can search it up and at least see the images. Otherwise, I'll have a highlight up. You'll be able to watch it too. Anyways, let's move it along to the next place. Oh, yeah, hell yes. Yeah, Dorkish, they're definitely using Landmark as a test bed and, a bit of a player content development space. It's pretty awesome. How advanced are the building options? PC Zelda, eventually they'll probably have the features and functionality that we'll be able to make Antechamber on our own terms, basically a non-Euclidean space, as well as something like Portal where you'd be able to, see something in another part of the world and kind of be rendering, completely across servers at once. Give it some time. Give it a lot of time. And we have teleporters, so there's a little bit, but they're not stealthy. Anyway, time to focus on the build here. Maybe I need to turn up my shadows. Maybe that's just some of the texture blending issues. I don't know. I think I need to turn my shadows up or something. But that's besides the point. Let's look at what we've got going on here. So a lot of the wider sections are using the A-frame style. That makes sense. This definitely doesn't look like bottom third, top third. When I look at it from the side, it doesn't even quite communicate that. So this one definitely needs to be taller, or this part needs to be shorter. I think just making it taller would probably be the easiest way to go. I like how this is proportioned here. Though this connection I can see is still a work in progress. That's, it's probably going to take a little bit of work, but I'm sure it'll be really nice once it's finished. Some really tough connections here. That and that in particular. That looks nice. Nice woodwork. I like the little bit that's been done down here. Some extra supports. This looks like a top of a wall segment. I would imagine some tiles and stuff need to be laid over the top of this, though. If it's just exposed wood, I mean, forget dragons. People just shoot flaming arrows at the place. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Even though it's wood, it's that tiled look is really nice. It actually makes it look a little bit more like kind of stone and brick when you use the burrowed wood. Not really sure what they're actually going to say in the long run is correct for the roofs. But then again, a lot of it's going to be taking cues from us and influence. This is really nice being able to see this from the back, from the cross section. You can see how it's structured. I really like this bar in the middle, this beam going around the middle. And that can then be used for further supports going across, even potentially going up, or having some supports going across here that connect down to them. So a lot can be done with this to make it look really nice and reinforced. Potentially even having some amount of usable space up here instead of it just being the kind of the top of things. It's pretty cool stuff. I like the experimentation. I like this as a it's like a connecting kind of juncture point here, it looks like, or one of the end caps. Pretty nifty, pretty nifty. I like what I see here. Alright. Where's the sun? So this has been one of the first episodes in a long time where it not being at night has been a good thing. Because most of the past few episodes, everything looks better at night because there's all the lights and the, you know, linking and triggering stuff. Some very nice work going on there. Maximilian, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Portals when you travel around pending side. Yeah, that would be awesome too. I mean, that's kind of resource intensive. Maximilian, they are kind of done doing the races for now. They have moved on specifically to Qeynos, and for the styles that we haven't gotten to work on yet, they, I believe, said for us to use our best intuition. So dwarves we've already nailed. Like, we nailed that apparently before they even showed it to us. The rest, you know, we're still up in the air about a little bit. Determination shoal. Send it. So we'll probably check out one or two more builds and then take a little quick break and crash the Frigo Porco show. Excuse me. So, you know what your discussion reminds me of? Back in the 90s, there were a lot of these toys where it'd be a box and you open it up and it's got all the different, you know, moving parts and things that open up, and it's this total, like, play set that's got all sorts of cool stuff in it and all the characters and parts involved, and, you know, there were a lot of those, and they were modular, so you could even put them together in different ways. I saw D-Man do something like that, where it's a box, and then when you flip the switch, it opens up into a whole, you know, house thing. So, yeah, there's stuff like that that people can do. Like, you know, you walk into the room, and it's just a bunch of boxes, and then when you walk back out, it's a completely different place because all those boxes have opened up, and now you see the whole landscape, or not the whole landscape, the whole, the whole design of everything, the whole layout rather, and how it all works together. So, yeah, I mean, there's some stuff like that, and also just use of teleporters. Teleporters aren't stealthy though. If they're a little bit more stealthy, had no sound, no effect, and it was instant, we could probably do a lot more devious things with them. Yeah, Dorkish, it starts in like 10 minutes. I'd watch it, but you know, I'm doing a show of my own, so the best I can do is come by and say, ah, free go! And then move on. You know what? I'm just going to wait on the map screen for it to load up. So anybody who is not happy about the screen flickering won't have to worry about that stuff. So let me just zoom back over there real quick. Wait, is this the place? No. Oh, he's way out there. Oh, okay. That'll only take a moment. This place is pretty nice, though. Freaking A. We'll come back. We'll come back. I'm gonna write this down. Alright. That's pretty cool. Alright. Let's continue the trek out to... Let's claim way out here. Yeah, the load time with the teleporters is always it's instant if it's close enough. But even if it's instant, sometimes stuff will have to swap LOD from a low to high LOD real quickly, and so it's obvious that something has changed. I think props are a little bit more immune to that, so if you have the person facing props, it helps out. Yeah, being able to, I mean, whether it's just disabling those or just giving us a different teleporter entirely, either way, I could honestly go for a more Star Trek looking teleporter pad anyway. So this is some more experimentation. I like the approach with the kind of steps. I'm wondering if that's going to be the first step and then it gets smoothed out, or if it gets tiled over. Tiled over afterward actually makes a lot of sense. I like this approach. That's actually a really interesting look. That's almost sci-fi even. Looks like a air traffic control tower. Yeah, that's what it does look like. It totally looks like an air traffic control tower, doesn't it? That's awesome. So this is what the material looks like. You know, honestly, that one isn't too bad. If it was just in a more of a reddish material, I think it would be perfect. So here's what it looks like in place like this. With these pieces coming off at that angle, It still totally looks like an air traffic control tower, especially with the antenna on. I mean, it looks like an antenna. I'm sorry, I can't shake it. That's just what it looks like to me. Really cool. I like these, the consideration of these little inset pieces there. Getting a little bit of Karen up in here with the uneven lengths of some of the wood boards. Nice, nice, nice. But they're even on this side. And they're even on this side. And the wood spar that looks like it's able to go through to the next building over. Not really any junctures here. I'm sure they can work through that. Even though they said, you know, almost no metal in the build of Qeynos, this is the sort of place where I would see like a little bit of like metal clasps being used if this is the kind of juncture. Otherwise, maybe a little bit of some offset work to make just the tiniest separation, make it look like the you know, the centerpiece is actually supporting these cross beams here. Cool deal, Desert Fox. Welcome, welcome. Have a good one, or welcome for welcome to the show. I hope you're having a good one. I've either had more or less of this than I need to. Anyway. That's really cool. Those are really nice wood sconce things, though. I would imagine you would need more of a contained lantern. This looks like it would just burn that up. Maybe not this one. That one's kind of tiny. It's still... the metal gets hot. I don't know. You wouldn't want to do that. I like the look of it on the inside here. Ah, I see. Yes, alternating but using the same material. Wait a second. Yeah. Yeah, it just has a really trippy effect to it. I think because the outside lighting is kind of catching a highlight off of them. I really like the wall. Interesting symbol there, and it's probably being worked on still. Yeah, Adrani, I could imagine. There's still some stuff to be worked on with the lighting and some of the other stuff. Nice, Desert Fox. So overall, I like the look of it. It's really got a nice appearance to it. Looks very functional. It's a nice little segment that can be, you know, modularly put with a lot of other stuff. And we're gonna screenshot this, and we're gonna go visit the Wayne Manor in Winklesville. So this. The air traffic control tower. Oops. What do they call it here? Storms Claim 6. Understanding Oxbow. standard game lighting. Yeah, well, I mean, everything with that Adrainian, and it's a difficult sort of thing to resolve because when you're in a procedural voxel world, you have to define the rules for what it means to be, underground, what it means to be, at certain depths and stuff, and getting your different light sources from where you can. We have, a lot of the same sorts of things in a lot of other voxel sandbox sorts of games where the sunlight bleeds through in different places. And just a lot of games in general have that even. I mean, some of it's like ambient light coming from a direction. It just, yeah, eventually it is going to get an overhaul. Alright. You know what I haven't tried doing yet is making neon lights by doing the doing up all the letters using glass or ice and then shining the colored lights on them. I wonder if you could actually make something that looks like an actual neon sign, not just using lumicite, but something that actually has the the light shining through to cause it to emit it. Haha, there they are. So let's take a little tour of the place here. So I wanted to check the place out and see what's been done with it anyway. That's a really nice build. A little tree, a little planter over here. It's quite lovely. We got these lanterns going on. Oh, Adrainian, no, this is Wayne Manor. This is not Qeynos build. I just wanted to check this out because we're going to be a little visit up to the top. What do we have here? Oh. Haha. Lovely. Ain't that classy? Whoop. Going up. All right. Cool stuff. I like those kinds of little hidden details. Very nice, big sprawling place. Have a lot of people up in here. It seems like there'd need to be a little rail there, a little more rail work, but I'm sure that can be worked out. The Bat Cave. Yeah, exactly. The keyword is neurotoxin!
Sometimes, maybe due to some technical issues, I can't hear you in-game,
Frigo. Here it is, the Frigo Porco Tonight Show.
There's UI, you got it. Now I can see who's talking to me. You keep lying about my UI. There we go.
Yeah, absolutely, PC Zelda. That's great stuff. I'm telling you, you should go with neurotoxin.
Yeah, here, you can co-host with us as well, Neurotoxin. We're going to give away 50,000 copper today.
That's awesome. Hey, you guys have a great show. I just want to stop by and show some support. Have a lovely one. This is a lovely build to have the show out.
Ah, that's great, man. Thanks for coming.
Cool deal. Cheers, guys. I'm gonna take a little screenshot and move on.
Cheers. Yeah, we're live right now, so you're on Twitch right now. Our word, airplane. We got our word from the audience, too, so we're going to actually give away our copper. Here we go. We're going to go to Showcase Roulette Wheel right now, people. You ready? Ding, 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 ding.
Does anybody have the URL? Is it Porco Corp for the channel?
I'm ready. And it appears that the number 3 is not going to work here. We're just going to have to get it to the number 1 on orbital space liner type 1. I think we should go there. What do you think, Noblet? I think we should get the orbital space liner type 1. You type airplane in your gallery. This is what you're going to get. So why don't you jump on board the magic teleporter here, and we can go to an orbital space liner to this man, woman, or whatever, 10,000.
Anybody? Porco's channel? I'll look it up real quick. There we go. It is just Porco Corp. There we go. All right, everybody. Seriously, hey, hey, hey. Welcome, welcome. PC Zelda, just having the ability to make secret trap doors and stuff like that, and doors that open on, pressing buttons. I actually just showed you one earlier. Let me go down and show you again. It's pretty cool. All right, public succeeded. So right here, you press the button on the statue, and it opens this up. Then there's this elevator. We don't have cool elevators yet, but then when the elevator comes back to the top, it'll open this doorway back up so you can get out, the bookshelf. But if I just go up to it and try to click on it, well, that part you're not supposed to be able to do, but that hasn't been fully configured yet, I would imagine. You can actually configure props that people just cannot even click on them. It's pretty cool. Portraits that we walked through, yeah. All right, folks, let's continue the Qeynosery, the Qeynosing, I don't know what you want to call it. Qeynostravaganza. There we go. Let's go with that one. Let's continue the Qeynostravaganza. Qeynostravaganza. Yeah, in the past year, Landmark has really gotten a lot of improvement. You're absolutely right. You know, I'm sorry, when I look at this, I just say, hey, don't leave me out of the wall, guys. I'm not fat. It's short and fat. No, it's, that's really cool. That's a nice way to approach it, that the shape of the wall itself is actually an octagon, and that's why the towers arranged in an octagonal shape makes so much sense, because it's just, you know, the natural flow of the way things are designed. Woo, we got a lift off of that one. So let's look at these roofs. This is, you know, looking at that thirds rule. This is maybe about a quarter. It doesn't quite look like a third, but that's fine. You know, it's a little bit of some tests, some shape variation here between all of them. This one, it looks like, is a little bit bigger. This one maybe a little steeper. Not as steep, not as steep. A little flatter. And, you know, it's just experimentation. I ultimately, I think that Rosie's really going to come down hard on people for not, you know, sticking to 2/3, 1/3. Draining, it makes sense. You know, for something like EverQuest Next, I would imagine we're going to see things actually having to be built up bits at a time. You don't just throw resources in and bam, there's a wall instantly. I would imagine we're going to have to bring wood to make the scaffolding, and then start bringing all the materials to make the walls and stuff after that, or whatever it is we're building up. Ogre doors. Really, ogre doors. Okay. I'm not going to say no to that. Just keep in mind, if I'm a small race, I'm like reaching up like this to pull that door open. That's not really dignified. So to that extent, I mean, I guess if we're expecting that nobody is opening and closing these doors unless it's a, you know, part of the guard doing what they do or whatever, going in and out on patrols and letting people in and out who are from the place. Landmark will be free to play. And you just download, but it's going to be online only. The premium, I don't think they've really worked out the features for premium, what you would get for it. Probably get your, what's it called, your claim upkeep waived, and you just don't have to worry about it if you're a subscriber. That's about the most I could imagine they give to a subscriber. That, and maybe you temporarily get 100 inventory and vault slots if you haven't already bought 100. It's really nice. I like the look of this place. It's rather squared, though. I actually, honestly, I don't know if this is part of the Qeynos stuff. I really do like this down here quite a bit. Philos. Whoops. So does anybody have a Qeynos build that they're working on that they'd like to have toured? The roofs look like wizard hats. Yeah, wizard hat, witch hat. That's definitely something they described a few times during the workshop show. Location need. It's just their claim photos. Liberation lava tube. Maybe at some point PC Zelda that would require us to have linking and triggering functionality that allows multi-directional teleporter functionality, so I can have one start point that has multiple endpoints that can be defined by different conditions. That might also require us to have state machines and, you know, some of the more advanced logic stuff to make it work properly. So I'm not saying it ain't possible. It'd be difficult to do it right now, to do it precisely how you want to have it done, I believe. And probably still would require teleporters to be used. I mean, it would definitely have to. We wouldn't be giving a different instance of something unless it's how you approach the door involves a teleporter or something. Okay. Onzul, you are up. Are you here still? Lost like nice. Gotcha, Dark Wars. No desire to build an octagonal ship. You're not gonna make a floating octagon barge. No, that wouldn't even make sense. Though I would imagine there are places where you could add that, the masts, the and even the what's it called, the crow's nest or whatever, having something more of an octagonal shape with that. Actually arranging the ship so it's got kind of a squared front and back, and then angling and. Yeah, there's ways you can introduce those shapes and some of the angles in the A-frame. Oh, that's what you do. You do the A-frame proportionality, but you do the inverse of it, where it's maybe 1/3 at this angle and then 2/3 at this angle. So you've got kind of a I can't really rip. So something like this kind of going on, where it's basically the inverse. That this is kind of the part of the curve that you're using. To do the frame of the ship. Basically it's bowing it out instead of pushing it in and doing it upside down. Just some thoughts for you, Dark Wars. You are the ship master, so I will definitely let you do all the hard work on that. Just throwing some thoughts your way. I really like this banner. It looks more ogre, but it could definitely work. It really looks ogre. So, let's see what we've got going on here. some experimentation on A-frame decor and little details. Just some support pieces. These are more like some upper supports where you'd have pieces from below kind of pushing up through, giving it a little bit more strength in that area and stability. That's neat as the wall, as the kind of wall segments there. This actually looks more like an interior space rather than an exterior. I don't know if that's actually meant to be a wall. Maybe I should kind of investigate a little bit more. Ooh. I do like the look of it. This part could probably stand to be a little bit longer or something, but it's very nice. You know, the thirds thing. Like I said, I imagine she's really going to come down hard. The whole making sure things are actually at the exact 1/3 mark. But, you know, this looks great. I really like it. I like this right here. It looks, you know, you can see that it's being built up. You can see that it's being constructed. Well, like landmark work in progress action. It's really cool. And I like these pieces here too. That's really neat. Unzul's not here. I like how these pieces bow out in a different way than these pieces. These kind of, they kind of swoop out this way. So I wonder which one is supposed to be the... I guess that's the entrance here. This is more of a structure, not a wall, is it? I don't know. It's hard to say. Yeah, this place is pretty nice. This place is pretty nice. Yeah, I can see there's going to be some more stuff going on. These are probably going to have a support going across and kind of framing them up, or otherwise they're going to have some way of kind of making their way down. But I imagine there's going to be a piece that goes across here, kind of sealing that area in. Well, technically, PC Zelda, we're all on the dev team. I mean, not everyone gets paid for it. A lot of us paid to access, but yeah, you know, we're kind of working with them to make the game here. They're doing a lot of the hard work, but we're doing a lot of the awesome, fun experimentation. Just a house to test the style. It's really cool. If this is just a house, you better not tell people that, because they're gonna be like, "Oh man, this is just a test and it looks better than my best stuff, man." And you know, I don't know. I mean, this is pretty damn good. It would take me a long time to build something of this quality, I think. But you know, comes with the territory. You've had a lot of practice. I like that. This here is like a little Karen tribute sort of thing. It's very nice. It's very nice. Actually, that's a better picture. There we go. For sure, Anzul. Yeah, I'm gliding. I'm not flying. It's the boots of the Zephyr. PC Zelda, you can already do that actually. Yeah, during the second half of the show, I'm probably going to be going more of a linking and triggering focus. I just want to get through some of the awesome Qeynos work that we're seeing here. Because, you know, people have already jumped on with Qeynos stuff, and it's really nice to see, you know, what's already gotten started based on what little we've seen, what little we've seen from other people too. That's one of the things, as the building competitions went on with the ogres and with the Karens, maybe not as much with the dark elves, we were really able to look around and see what everybody was doing and their innovation and re-innovation and, you know, the iterative process of building up, as well as after seeing other people doing it, being able to do more iteration based on that. Oh no. Oh no. How am I going to do this? Let's see. While I'm holding space, I can do that. Do that. And we'll just do a little sortie chargey. Man, how far down are we? There we go. 80 marks, that's my range. Alright. And I still take 109 damage, great. Yeah, Dranian, but at least we can use the sword charge to fly out. You can also fly to the skybox using the Zephyr boots and a sword charge. It's really fun. You can fly like an eagle into the skybox. So just taking a little look around the place, I see a lot of different styles kind of being played with here. This is almost an ogre zoidal column here. Like a rough ogre zoidal, almost like an ogre asked a Karen to make their column for them. And it's like, I just kind of put it on the lathe and just went this, and this with the freaking tool until it kind of came out like what you were looking for. I'm sure Ogre wouldn't be too happy about that. Whatever. They didn't do it. Left to the Karen. I really like this here. Nice column. Good detail. Really nice use of the light. You could use, I could definitely see a separate material being used to frame it or being used as the inset. Separation of materials is nice. A lighter material would help it stand out. A darker material would help push it back. Likewise, if this was a darker material, this would stand out more. If this is a lighter material, this would get pushed back. So there's a lot of ways that it could be played with. Even just throwing a different grain of the same material in that space. Oh wait, I should just be telling Ogre's not this up. Hey! Hey you! Guess what show's going on? Is that a gnome you're working on? How you doing, Ogre Snot? Working on Dwarfield, yes. Gonna have a house on this pack. Nice. That's awesome. That's totally super cool. Remio. Yeah, seriously. Welcome, welcome. So, if you should build an A-frame, you'll find Rosie probably wants the 2/3 and 1/3. Or not, I don't know. She seemed like she was kind of adamant about that, but maybe that's, you know, we can push that detail. I think they're just happy to see anything where it has the one swoop and then the break to a kind of a flatter slope. Of course, still has to be built up and reinforced. You know, it's a work in progress. That's really nice the way this is built up. I like just using the plain brick material without actually, you know, voxelizing it. It's just fine. It's a nice material. It's a nice material. I like these supports here. Very much so. Looks like a very nice, well reinforced structure. I like this here. That's a nice detail. That's a little technical piece. Nicely connected. Very, very nicely welded there. Great work there. That's let's see, this one maybe needs a little bit more fine tuning, but also really nice. Good good placement, good usage. I like the little windows here. And we see from the interior, we can't really get into everything, but it's you know, it's a work in progress, and it's definitely a really nice start. Let's look inside of here for a moment. All right, yeah, you can see the interior. That's it. Then what's going on in here? Anything? No. Quantum building. I mean, for me, PC Zelda, I'd like to be able to define the parameters of my claim that someone who enters it is essentially entering a procedural roguelike dungeon space, and yeah. Zifx Qeynos is Sony EQ backwards. It's also the major city that the players as the Combine are going to be building up probably early on. Damn, I just do not know what angle I want to get from this place. There's a lot of nice stuff to show from a lot of different angles. I think this is where I'm going to get the most. Great stuff, Ogre Snot. I really like the place. Rebellion Shield. So, a little reminder to everybody on Wednesday at the normal 5 p.m. Pacific, whether or not they have Landmark Live at that time, and they're not, they're actually going to have it on Friday. I'm going to be having the 1-year anniversary of live feature rant. We're going to be giving away some station cash cards. We're going to be giving away 2 Trailblazer packs. So spread the word. You know, bring your friends. Upvote the Reddit. Retweet the tweets. Like the post on the forums and the event section. All that good stuff. Spread the word. PC Zelda. That might be getting a little bit complicated for the game. I mean, it could be done conceptually. I'm sure players will probably figure it out once we get enough tools to be able to do it. Alright, let's move it along. Duh, Jello. How many builds do we have even? Okay, so we don't even have 50 builds, so we'll probably be able to get through all of them today. Moon Rage, you got it. You are on the list. We will be going there next. It's on Tuesday? I thought they were having it on Friday. Yeah, whatever. I know it's not the normal time, but I'm still having my show at the normal time. This is how I do things. Just a little shelf with the tools. This is what we're looking at here, though. So, first and foremost, what I see with this, Karen. Karen plus dwarf? So why I say Karen initially, if you folks remember from the Karen builds, they first started with stone at the base, usually to help it conform to the ground and give it as much reinforcement as possible. Tuesday for live and Friday for anniversary party. Damn, maybe I will see if I can go down there on Friday. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have the time with stuff with work, though. We'll see. We'll see. So with the Karen, starts with a third, like as much of a third of it being stone at the base, and then the plaster segment that kind of lifts it up off the ground to make sure that the tops are nice and high, so, you know, Karens can be high up because that's where they like to be. So that segment was always done with plaster. That was what was the recommendation. It usually had a bit more of a taper to it, so this isn't, you know, 100% Karen between this being solid stone and this being, you know, more of a chamfered square column rather than a trapezoid that was being used for the, not even a trapezoid, like trapezoid plus, you know, a little bit of variation beyond that for the Karen stuff. Some of them were even perfectly circular, like a conical sort of style. And then the top third would be wood, sometimes a little bit of plaster. Now this is where it starts to really break from being Karen, is that there's still stone being used this far up. Usually they didn't do that, so this is definitely meant to break away from Karen style. It's also too clean. Nothing is off, nothing is rough. Everything is well placed, well shaped, clean cuts everywhere. So it's got a lot of stuff that really looks Karen at the initial glance, but as you kind of work through the details, you see, no, it's just the stone, plaster, and wood that kind of communicates that. A Karen would be happy here, though, I'm pretty sure. So is this how I get to go in? Yeah. The quarters in here are kind of narrow, though. I mean, for all the stone and stuff it takes to build this up, for it to be this small of an interior, it would only make sense if this is being used for some sort of a military facility. Itone and Totem, thank you very much for joining. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Some Escher pieces in the game. Yeah, some crazy stairs action. Yeah, I know Desert Fox. Yeah, there's a couple folks at the gate over there. That's nice. It's quite fancy. I really like this. Can I get a screenshot before LOD breaks everything? Maybe. Because Qeynos Workshop. Hey, Akam, how you doing? I mean, it's possible to make structures in Landmark that are actually visually distorting and disorienting, like making a hallway where it's actually, you know, a solid material, so there's not much variation, but instead of it being a squared hallway, it kind of tapers down a little bit, so it kind of, you know, it looks like a longer space, and then when you get a little bit closer, like, oh man, I can't go in there, and it kind of looks weird and stuff. Yeah. Nice, Com. Box POS. Warcraft Man 86, 68. 68. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. So we succeeded in sending this one off. It's going to look a little bit more. So we're using the wood tile here, and you know, it holds up pretty well at all the different angles that it needs to, but it's just being used at you know, rotations of 90 degrees, so it's not going to be distorted too badly. It gets a little bit weird in there, but it works itself out. Too much detail? Yeah, seriously. Well, it's also the ones that upconvert the 2D and, like, you know, clean things up with it, that it actually flattens things out and makes the people look like actors on a set rather than you know, how it was intended to be filmed and distributed. Ah, yes, some custom offset lattice work, very nice, classic Karen style. That's a nice window there. That's not Karen style at all. So was there an entrance on the ground level or no? No. Okay, so that's what there is to see here. Let's check out. I see Dwarven. I see Dwarven. See Dwarven. Probably got a little bit of everything going on there, huh? We'll be right on over then. Alright, alright. I'm just gonna let it keep on loading in here till we're good. I think I picked the right one. That would be nice, PC Zelda. As it is, the materials do have a little bit of change from day to night. Like the lumicite's not as luminous during the day as it is during the night. Made with Jello. Storage house from the docks. Am I at the right place? I think so. Yes. Alright, alright. Let's check this place out. Oh, I don't think I need a filler claim, Bad Viking, but it is probably worthwhile to just kind of check out a little bit of everyone's work right now. We're going to have enough time to get through all of the Qeynos builds, I think, in this episode, so that'll be a nice little bit of history, looking at what it is now versus what it is at the very end, being able to kind of compare and contrast them. Those are definitely the ogre shapes there. That's awesome. Alright. It's an ogre door. It's a very nice ogre door. That would be pretty cool, PC Zelda. So here's the smaller door for people to actually get in and out with. This is more of the door for getting like a carriage through or something. And then these floating little voxels to make sure to stop any carriages trying to get through. No, I'm kidding. I like that. Very nice with the grates there. Oh wait, you said this is a dock house here? So this is this gonna be in water in this area? Or is this gonna be dry where I'm standing? I'm just trying to figure out what the purpose of the grates is other than looking cool. Because they do look cool. I'm not gonna take that away from them. Alright, alright. I like that. It's like a nice little vent or something going on. No water? Okay, so it's dry. So looking at it here, definitely makes sense to use the wood because it's by the docks. Definitely nothing wrong with using the wood in a very... Using some different angles with some of the planks here and there sometimes is really helpful. Another thing is just varying using the light and the dark and the different types. You know, getting a lot of variation out of the planks. It looks nice. Experiment with it though, because it might not necessarily be what you're looking for. Really like this, like the archways framed with metal. Metal is going to be scarce in Qeynos initially, so I think they're only going to build it where it's needed, and if it's actually needed here, then yeah, I could definitely see it being used. And then the stairs here definitely need to have something connecting underneath or over the top or something. But yeah, work in progress, so yeah, I understand you're gonna find a cool way to resolve this. I would imagine if there's any way without too much deformation to get an archway going here, that would be the best, but that's kind of asking a lot. An entire offset archway would be really difficult. Not impossible, just really difficult. Very nice. There's a little staircase sticking up. So yeah, something like this would even work. I like what you've done here. I just need to get everything all reinforced like this under here. That looks really nice from below. Cool stuff. Got little fires here. Custom little fire pits on the walls. Very cool. What's the purpose of these? Is something going to be like hanging over across, or are you going to have chains and something draping down? Like, are these going to be used to cook fish, or what's going on with them? Because they're a really cool detail, and definitely reminds me of the ogre style with the way that it's set up there. Looks great. Oh, that's so neat. Chains? Cool. Yeah, that would make sense, Moonrage. Just kind of connected to it. Just, let me go back to it there. You might need to make these pegs a little wider, but it'd basically be, I guess, like a chain or a loop here. One of the curved pieces connecting, and then connecting down from there to 3 different points, or would it just be from here, just straight down to here, here, straight down to here, and then maybe something connecting between them that connects to the one in the front there? Or... Okay, so the number 8, octagons, that definitely matters with Qeynos. Were there any other numbers from the workshop that anybody remembers that were actually particularly relevant? Because I'm trying to think of, you know, all the racial builds. I feel like there are different numbers that had significance, but I can't really think of anything with Qeynos that they said is like a number that needs to be kept in mind and used throughout. It's pretty cool. It's pretty damn cool. There you go. It gets a little bit of everything. There we go. Thoughts on the stone floor? I'll check them out in just a moment. I just want to get this screenshot out for you. Whoops. Satisfaction channel. Good stuff. Thoughts on the stone floor? So for right now, that's pretty neat. I like what you've done here, actually. I'm gonna wait for it to let me actually descend back to the floor. Okay. It's a really neat style, actually. I like it a lot. I'm just wondering what Because the dark stuff kind of makes it look a little interesting. Is there a darker foundation stone that you could use? Or even a lighter one, potentially. And then have it, you know, darken a little bit less. Use a different material to kind of darken the gaps. Or is this just meant to look like it's all kind of worn and roughed down on the edges? If that's the case, I would say... Yeah. If that's what you're going to do, I'd definitely say make it smaller, you know, even smaller chunks than what you've already got. Cut them down even smaller. Have them closer to this size, and, you know, shapes like this. Yeah, PC Zelda, underwater cities will eventually be something. Just dirty? Oh, okay. If you're trying to communicate dirty, maybe a different material would work better. This actually makes it look like it's been kind of roughed up over a long period of time. Maybe this part is, but down here, if it's just meant to look dirty, something brown. And also the other thing you can do is kind of blend other materials, or even add like flat paneling of other materials to kind of show more wear. And show more like stainage and such. I'm guessing there's no grates in any liquid or anything that spills is just going to drain through the cracks here. Oh, Bad Viking. The aquarium was Poro's project. I don't know what she's doing with it at this point, but probably be worth bringing back pretty soon. I mean, things have really moved along since then. Yeah, some grates would make sense. In terms of where stuff would drain out to, having a couple of them maybe towards the front and towards the back would work. Um, Brick, actually. This would probably be another place where you could use brick, custom tiling. If somebody makes a really nice octagonal offset tile cut pattern, that would actually work perfectly here, I think. Especially to kind of dirty it up and wear it down the way that you've done here. Maybe a little bit more height variance could be something else to kind of make it look worn and look like, you know, parts have had to be replaced differentially over time and stuff. You know, stones have gotten cracked or stuff's been dropped on them and they just got shattered and needed to be replaced or whatever. A lot of different ways you can go with it here. But you know what? I need to go take a little break here. Take a little stand up and stretcher. Take a little breather here. Let the cat in. Let him back out. And I'll be back. So when we come back to the second half of Content and Creations, we'll probably be continuing more of the Qeynos touring. So, see you then.